What do you think we're getting fundamentally wrong in talent management today?
We are living in a very dynamic world where today's technology may not be relevant tomorrow. So tell me something. If I will be focused on only skill, if I will be focused only on competence, will I be relevant tomorrow?
We have AI tools today which talk about assessments, structured interviews, but uninformed talent decisions still happen every day. So the real question is, are we solving the right problem?
We need minds who are flexible in their learning. We need minds who are adaptive to any new thing that is being. I think today the perception about AI is built that it is a tool to optimize resources.
Correct.
Resources means human resources, which is personnel in place. Okay, and that is the reason why the panic is created, because I want to drive efficiency and AI is saving me a lot of time. Hence, I don't need these many people. I just need an AI tool. Leadership level people, one need to understand what is the limitation of an AI and where you will need human intelligence. The moment we realize this fact, I think this whole debate about AI is killing jobs, AI is removing jobs will go away.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the second series of Third Bracket Talks. Today, we're going to talk about rethinking talent, specifically looking at it from transitioning it from instinct to intelligence. So, do watch this episode till the end for you to understand what is the impact that AI has created in the entire talent management ecosystem and how it can help you better your decisions overall. So, talent always needs to be more data driven, yet it's felt more uncertain. We have AI tools today which talk about assessments, structured interviews, but uninformed talent decisions still happen every day. So the real question is, are we solving the right problem? To talk about that today with me, I have Amit Kumar, who's a very seasoned people and culture leader from the HR industry. Amit has 22 years of experience in transforming talent and managing people practices. He's worked across diverse industries of ITES, BFSI, pharma, etc. And his expertise lie in culture transformation, talent management, employee experience, and HR business, right? Currently, he works as the corporate HR head of Solara Active Pharma Sciences and is the lead for the HR Center of Excellence functions like talent acquisition, LNOD, talent and performance management, etc. So, Amit, thank you for joining us today and welcome to this Third Bracket Talk series. I'd like to typically, with your experience, bring you in with a very first question. What do you think we're getting fundamentally wrong in talent management today? Do you think is speed becoming more important than fit?
So, Pat, first of all, thank you very much for having me here and good morning to everybody. Uh, I think speed is definitely something which is the need of the hour that's getting driven, but I think there are a lot of challenges that we come across more from a perspective of how the organization or a management looks at it. Today, when you look at talent management, I think the first philosophy where we are going wrong is that we talk about talent optimization. The belief is largely on get the maximum with the minimum investment.
Correct.
And that's not talent management to me. I mean, if you look at your traditional practices where we were more instinctive based, we were trying to bring in talent based on the feedback from the senior folks, so where it struggles, if you look at it from a subject perspective, in today's context, because we have AI in place, because we have too many datas in place, because we have predictive modeling in place, people are confused between data and the decision influences.
Correct.
Today, large, we have been built, or rather, I would say, the struggle between today's leader is that we try to be Gen Z in our thinking, but by heart, we are still a generation or a two generation older. So we can't let away the practice that we have in our mind. And then that's where we struggle between the perceived competence versus the the demonstrative competence. I think that's a challenge which I see.
Right. So what you're really saying is also there's some amount of mind shift that needs to happen because there's too much chaos and noise happening around. So you need to really see what works the best for you in
Yeah.
that sense. Right. Great. Thanks. So that leads me to this next question, which, and I want to bring this to talent as a cycle has multiple areas, right? So I want to start first by understanding your thought more from a hiring perspective. If you start right at the beginning, right? So when you look at hiring, and if you focus slightly on that, do you think resumes still represent capability? And more importantly, how do we measure real skills and not just claimed experience as we see in today's world, right?
So, Pat, in my understanding, resume never showed the capability. If you
True.
ask, whether it is in the eras of 90s or 2000, or it is today. The only difference that I see in the eras of 90s or 2000s, resumes are being written based on the experience that we have acquired. Vis-a-vis, the resume today is more written through the AI. Okay. Now, why I'm making this point is twofold. One, if I have to, let's look at whether this person is capable of handling a high pressure situation. Help me understand, is anywhere in the CV will be written like that? My answer is no.
True.
They may not tell you. So to me, resume is all about a summary of what the person brings on table according to him or her. Whether it is handwritten by them through their own experience, or in today's AI world, you would like to put it, okay, if let's say if I have to apply for a talent management head role, I go and put a prompt saying that, okay, I based on the attached profile, prepare a CV which fits me into a talent management head role, and
True.
it will give you a CV. Now, where it becomes a connect to the recruitment engine, today we are talking about a lot of SaaS-based software, which gives you this search engine to refine your search and try to give you the best fitment possible. Now, let's understand, and I keep telling this word called AI is killing AI,
True.
because you have an engine which is creating the CV, vis-a-vis you have an engine which is screening the CV.
See.
Now,
Yes.
if both of them are only managing the business, where is the human experience coming into picture? Where is the
True.
actual demonstrated experience coming into picture? So when you don't have the actual demonstrated experience, how will you find capabilities?
And, and I think that's a very strong point because today we are also seeing many companies struggle to differentiate between perceived competence versus demonstrated competence as such. And I think that brings home that point which you were talking about, right? Where AI is actually trying to do everything for AI match as such. And of course, we realize that so third bracket we do more of a contextual matching rather than a keyword matching, but that's a different subject altogether, right? So so now once you look at it, so do you think AI is improving decision making or is just speeding up the bias? Because one of the things that we talk about when you want to take manual intervention to the absolute minimum possibility, right? Uh, it also talks about removing bias. So is AI actually helping us to remove or speed up bias, or where is it going with that?
But I would like to believe that AI is helping to remove the bias and speeding up the process. But that's not the reality. See, today, like I said, since the time data science has come, since the time the data analysis has come, especially I have seen in my own experiences, management has become little bit more CFO oriented mindset where they would only want to look at data.
True.
Now, let's understand, data alone cannot solve your problem. Okay, like I'll give you an example. Say, suppose, I am looking for a leader who need to scale up, the process and people for me because I'm a startup. Okay, I still have to learn those aspect of functional expertise. I have a vision, I have an idea. The idea is going to rock because obviously that's the potential market that we are trying to build. So I need somebody who comes with an expertise of supply chain, okay, and help me scale up this entire idea that I have in the logistics business.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, this is something. Now, the moment I go and search and I look at the data, it will give me, let's say, 5 CVs where people have handled large volume logistics management, supply chain of logistics management. Okay. Now, interestingly, it will not give me CVs where people have scaled up. They have scaled up volume, they have scaled up revenue. But have they worked with 0 to 10? You may not find in those CVs. Now, what was I look, what was my objective to look for? That I am a startup with just 3-member, 4-member company. I want to scale up to a 200 people company this year, to a 500 company by next 3 years. Okay, that's my vision. Now, for that, I need subject expertise to come in to help me scale up basis the idea vision that I have. So today, is that problem being solved by AI? My answer is partial, because AI will bring in data for me. AI will bring in the right set of profile for me. But ultimately, whether the mindset matches to share that vision and then bring in that performance to achieve that vision is a decision that I have to take based on my instinctive ability. So there has to be, while AI will definitely help you in terms of quickly getting those 5 profiles. So speed is
Correct.
something that they will support. It will give you logic why those profiles are there. Okay. It will give you the predictive modeling of data that, okay, in this particular structure, this is the way data has worked. Hence, these are the most suitable people. But ultimately, your vision, your idea, and the way you want to frame your company, you need to test him through your own competence questions. So,
Right.
yeah, I would like to believe it's helping, but at the end of the day, like I said, the AI is killing AI. So my
Yeah.
whole problem of improving the conversion ratio may not improve.
Got it. So that leads me to my next question. I mean, with this in mind, where do you think AI should be used and absolutely not be used in the talent management piece? Because certainly, very clearly, now we know today that AI does a phenomenal job in certain areas. But in certain areas, it may not be as effective, like you just said, as we expect it to be or we want it to be. So, in the entire cycle of talent management, there are some areas where it should not go, as per your understanding.
I think I would definitely want to use AI as far as data analysis is concerned, because that gives me option. Okay. I would want to use AI to build my predictive modeling, because that gives me some amount of certainty. Okay.
True.
But I will also want to then use these data or the predictive modeling from the AI to build my own model to look at the demonstrated competency or potential of having to demonstrate competency, right? I'll give you an example. Let's
Right.
say we are trying to create a new team where I need some amount of focus on cost improvement, some amount of focus on process efficiency, but more importantly, I am looking at future processes and technology that will help me scale up the business. Okay.
Right.
Now, the moment I use this data-driven, AI model, I will have, okay, these are the 4 5 people internally available. These are the 4 5 people externally available. And then I will again run an AI to look at the competence gap. So I will find out, okay, this is at this level of competency. They are at this level of competency. Okay. Now I have whole set of data available. Now it should be my decision, and this is where I'm saying AI can play a role, that they should be giving me the option to take a decision. But the decision should be, based on what do actually I am looking for from the objective perspective. AI you can build AI with that objective also. Okay. But again, they will only give you data. They will not give you demonstrated behavior record, because that is not available, right?
Absolutely. And I
That's
think, yeah, you're spot on, right? Also, when you want to look at a role where you want to grow into the future, you need something that will tell you, or you need to understand what could be your future competencies for that role. Because today, everything is just moving so fast. What is relevant today may not be relevant tomorrow. So there needs to be a SaaS model or a platform, an ecosystem which tells you that, hey, today you're hiring for this role. What are the future competencies that could be in effect for this role in the next 1 year or the next 2 years, right? And I think that is a very relevant point. So I think that's a very interesting thought. So I'm going to ask you a very good question here is if you were going to design a talent management process from scratch today, what would you want it to look like?
So, Pat, let me first tell you just a very important point. Okay, we are living in a very dynamic world where today's technology may not be relevant tomorrow. So, tell me something. If I will be focused on only skill, if I will be focused only on competence, will I be relevant tomorrow?
Exactly.
I may not be, right? So, what we need along with the competence is the agility in the person, because I want people to get adaptive with the speed which things are changing. So I need, we need minds who are flexible in their learning. Who we need minds who are adaptive to any new thing that has been occurred to us, and that brings to the earlier question that you mentioned, that it's all about mindset. Am I
Correct.
working along with the positive mindset, or am I working with a fixed mindset? I think that's important to measure. Okay. Second thing is, to me, as a talent management head, talent management is not an initiative or an intervention. It's a culture. Okay.
Correct.
When I say it's a culture, if you look at the traditional method, we used to have a authoritative position, and we will create 2, 3 junior position who will over a period of time have on the job learning from that authoritative position role holder and be ready as a talent. Okay.
Correct.
And I'll take you back about, let's say, 20, 25 years ago. This is something that you and I would have witnessed, that Wipro and Infosys started this entire model of building talent. And Infosys had an institute in Mysore to develop. Wipro had they actually created a SBU model to develop leaders, to look at in terms of how do they demonstrate competency when they are given the head of the role kind of thing. So the point that I'm trying to make is, one, as an organization, you need to decide whether you would like to make talent management a culture or not. Once you create that culture, then you need to analyze that what are the kind of competency that you want to flow in. I'm a big fan of this 9 box model and the situational leadership all put together. The reason why I bring in that subject is, see, if you look at 9 box model, it basically gives you a reference about identifying high potentials.
True.
Meaning potential is this person can be capable.
Correct.
Whether he is capable, you are not sure. He has to lead that journey of learning. He has to lead that journey of demonstrated competence. Then only I can stamp saying that the person from a high potential has actually become the role holder. Okay. And when it gets clubbed with the situational leadership, and why I bring in situational leadership again and again, because you mentioned about the change.
True.
What does the situational leadership talk about? Adaptive, based on the situation. Because today you might be demonstrating, let's say, your decision making based on a structured environment. Okay. Tomorrow, if I give you a chaos, will the same decision be relevant? My answer is no. So one need to be adaptive of the situation and then take a decision. Sometimes you need to be directive because that's the demand of the time. I mean, let's say if everybody in the boardroom is trying to argue over a point, as a board head of the board, I would want to be directive and say, come on, boss, I have the veto. I have the power. Let's do this. Talks end.
Correct.
Right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Whereas sometimes when I don't see people participating, I would like to maybe throw on saying that these are the ideas that I have, but I would like each and every member to provide their perspective on this idea. So I would do a collaborative leadership. I would probably want to, coach the entire hall and see that how the answers are coming. So it depends upon the situation with which I need to take a decision about how do I want to demonstrate my talent there.
True. And I think all leaders also ideally need to go through a mindset shift, right? Because everything just flows from the leadership perspective as well in so many organizations that we talk to and work with. So I think from your point, let me ask you a question. What do you think? What mindset shift do talent management leaders in specific need to adopt right now to understand the situation and work with it?
I would say first thing they need to unlearn is being instinctive, taking a decision based on instinct. Because that the moment you take a decision based on instinct, it is perceived as bias.
Yeah,
That's the first mindset I would want them to let it go. Okay. Secondly, I think our leaders and I can, because I'm working for pharma company, I can tell you, especially in pharma company, I don't see the top two level being even aware or knowledgeable about AI and how we can use AI. So the whole concept of AI is very misled to them, because you have got it as a hearsay, you
correct.
have not got as a first hand experience. So the whole education about AI and how they can use AI in their own set of function, I think that's the second mindset I would want them to develop. Because whether you like it or not, you have to respect AI. One, because it brings you speed. Second, it helps you in decision making. Third, it is going to help you in anything and everything that you want to do. So,
True.
AI is a tool which can be flexible based on the way that you want to use, right?
Correct.
So that's the third mindset, or rather, I would say that's the open mindset I would want to have. That boss, you may be a COE expert, you are a functional expert, but there are still a scope of learning, and especially on some of these new age technological changes that are happening. More importantly, thinking that because I am a head of the function, because I have 25 years of experience, what I know is the best, or I know everything, right? Sometimes a 2 year experience, sometimes a fresher can teach you a whole lot of things which you may not be even aware about. One of my ex bosses said that, whether you want to have a bosses from pedigree or not, always keep your subordinate more intelligent than you, because that will keep you driving on your learning pace, because they will challenge you, and if they are not challenging you, you don't have a good set of subordinate.
Correct. Very true. Very true. So that just one quick final question, and I know you've answered this in multiple ways earlier, but just to ask you, what's one talent management belief you think leaders need to actually unlearn, apart from the instinct that you mentioned earlier?
I mean, like I said, as a leader or as a functional head, I tend to believe that I develop talent, which is not the case. Like I said, it's a culture, it's a journey that one takes it. So they are a contributor, but they are not the sole representation of developing talent, or they are not the sole representation of managing talent.
True.
It's the culture and the process in the organization which manages. See, despite, let's say, you may be thinking that I have identified this man, I'm giving all kind of learning. Do you own him or her? You may not be sure. But
Correct.
you tend to believe that, okay, he will not go anywhere. I know. That's the statement I get to hear.
Yeah.
That is something I would want everybody to get unlearn, that even you facilitate the best of the talent development and management practices, you still don't own the talent.
Correct. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think there is this sense of belief going around where people saying that they're going to be replaced by AI. But the truth is, I don't think that people are going to be replaced by AI, because AI cannot replace humans. But a human can be replaced by somebody who uses AI better than you. So if you unlearn and learn how to adopt and accept AI as such as a leader, I think you are passing on the correct message with that, right?
But I would just add one point there. If you remember the first point that I made, I think today the perception about AI is built that it is a tool to optimize resources.
Correct.
Resources means human resources, which is personnel in place. Okay. And that is the reason why the panic is created, because I want to drive efficiency and AI is saving me a lot of time. Hence, I don't need these many people. I just need an AI tool. Okay.
True.
It's a perception that has been built. Please understand. And I'll give you classic example. My HR, fellow could relate it with it. If you do a engagement survey, AI can give you a result analysis. It can give you indicators to work upon. It can give you areas of improvement, right?
True.
Can it work on the area of improvement?
Exactly.
Does it understand the pulse on the floor?
True.
Do they understand the kind of personal and human mind? I'll
Exactly.
give you one classic example. So, in one of the companies that I was working, there was a very high potential candidate who resigned. Okay. So, two things which I saw. One, the business head was really worried, and he asked the HR business partner to find out the reasons why he is looking out. He is moving out. And at the same time, I saw him typing in Chat GPT saying that if you have a high potential, high performing employee, what could be the talent retention strategy according to me in a BFSI industry? Okay. And Chat GPT gave a
Yeah.
whole stuff. Okay. Now, Chat GPT being Chat GPT data driven, it gives you why people are leaving. So, reason one, two, three, four, you touch based on that. Okay. Now, this HR business partner, 2 3 days later, comes with the information. But before he could speak, the manager says, "Hey, I got the solution. I think we need to do this." So the HR BP just gave a smile. Okay. And he said, "Sir, do you even know that why has he decided to move out?"
Mm.
So he said, "No, I feel one, he's a very good talent and he must be in demand. Second, I know that this company has been after him for a very long time, and one of his ex bosses has joined that company. So I am sure he would have pulled him." You know,
Mm.
what was the real answer? His father had been diagnosed with cancer, and the parents had been staying in Nasik. He wanted to move from Bangalore to Mumbai so that he should be closer to Nasik.
Close. Nothing.
Now, this is something AI can't bring. This is
Totally.
something you have to depend upon human intelligence. So, see, as a leadership level people, one need to understand what is the limitation of an AI and where you will need human intelligence. The moment we realize this fact, I think this whole debate about AI is killing job, AI is removing jobs will go away.
True, true. And I think that's very important. So I would like to actually bring this excellent conversation to a close. Just that, and I echo with you saying that the future of HR is not about replacing humans, right? It's about enabling better human decisions for us, right? And we at Third Bracket truly believe that that's the journey that we are on, so that the correct talent gets identified, the correct talent gets nurtured, and we can bring to the front what is actually required by the organizations as such, right? So, with that, thank you very much, Amit, for your time. Really appreciate you talking to us, and we look forward to engaging with you again soon.
Thank you, Pat. Thanks a lot. Pleasure has been mine. I had a wonderful time.
Sure.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. Great. So, hope you enjoyed this podcast with Amit. It was great talking to him. We just want to give a very clear messaging over here is that the future of HR is not about replacing humans, it's about enabling better talent decisions using the platform.